Hello friends, welcome to Squared Plans. I'm Stephanie and today we're going to be setting up a winter bucket list for our planners. And I've got some sticker letters here ready to go, as well as these cutout stickers I made from the freebie I'll be giving away, these scrapbook paper pad that I'll be pulling from, and these sticker books which I'll use. Okay, so this is a super old scrapbook paper pad that I've had, and it had this circular page in it that I thought would be a good base for what we're going to do today. So I just went ahead and cut out the basic circle shape just to get started, and am now putting down some wax paper so that I can see how I want the stickers to lay on top of this circle. I have the Happy Planner Winter Sticker Book and the Celebrate Seasons of Celebrate. Oh, I'll have to look at that again. It'll be down below in the description along with links to them in case you are looking for these books. Anyway, so I'll be using those two for the decor aspect of the front here, and it was a really good way for me to use these silver stickers, I thought, on this bucket list because silver really doesn't show up that well on white. As you can see even from in this video that as the light hits it, it almost disappears. So I don't really like to use silver in my planners for the most part, but because I'm putting it on this blue background, I'm hoping that that will give it more of a presence and also kind of help it stand out from the background no matter how the light is hitting it. I'm also deciding to do a winter bucket list instead of a holiday bucket list this time around. I've been doing seasonal bucket lists since the summer, and I really liked the technique that I'll be using today as well of doing more of a circular shaped bucket list and sticking it in the middle of my monthly layout. It really keeps the bucket list in the front of my mind, so I check it every day and I look at it, try to do the things listed there or try to work those into my plan. So I add a little bit of fun and excitement to my somewhat routine life, which is why I do like to do these bucket lists. So I thought that using these silver stickers would be a really nice way to do a winter theme without it being too Christmassy. The snowflakes and the silver branches I think were the perfect match for that type of theme. So as you can see, I'm just going back and forth between the snowflakes that I have from the, I want to say Celebrate Seasons, but I feel like that's not it. The sticker book there on the right and the branches that I have in the winter sticker book on the left, for the most part. I also pulled in a few larger silver snowflakes I had in that winter sticker book as well at the very beginning, just to use those up again because I don't really like to use silver stickers all that often. So since I had the opportunity to add those in, I thought I would here on the bucket list. I don't know if you can quite tell, but I'm trying to build this out so that the branches and snowflakes and everything is within the confines of the blue. So nothing goes outside of that because I'm going to trim this at the end. So it's going to be a perfect, well, not like a perfect circle, but it's going to be more of a like blue circle. And that white area is mainly just to give me an outline which to follow as I go. I went back and forth trying to decide whether or not I wanted to keep that white border, which I think the border is super cute. But when you put it in the planner, it goes above the size of the page. So it's a little bit taller than 9¼ inches. It's probably closer to like 9½ inches in diameter. And I didn't like that. Most of the bucket lists I've been doing have actually been a lot smaller, more like 8 inches, where they just reach the top discs but don't go over the top discs, if that makes sense, the top and the bottom disc, when I put it in the middle of my planner. So I didn't want it to be bigger than the page, but I did want to have the extra space and I did want it to be in that same kind of circular manner. So I am going to trim it down, but I wanted to get as much out of it as I possibly could before I did that. I'm going to go ahead and try rolling these guys off this time around. This actually goes really smooth until just at the end. Taking it away from the wax paper just on one side was helpful. In the past, I've done circular wreath style spreads and had similar technique, but I would pull it all down at once in a straight line, and that tended to have a little bit of problems on the opposite side. So just sticking with one side definitely was the way to go. I think that's the best technique I've found so far. But here at the bottom, I had a few of them that didn't want to raise up off of the wax paper, and they kind of got tucked under. So as I was trying to fix it, one of them I ended up ripping without realizing that's what I was doing. I just matched it up. It really looks pretty seamless at the end, but that was the only real hiccup I had with this roll-off technique this time around. And I really like it because it just saves you from having to replace all those stickers individually. And the wax paper is the only way you could really do that because it's flexible and bendable like it is, but still has that wax coating, so you can move the stickers around with ease as it's on top of the paper. So I went ahead and made adjustments and lined back up that one sticker that I had accidentally torn in half. And now I'm going to cut this circle in half. I don't know why, but I had a little bit of a brain stop because I was trying to figure out, wait, how do I find the center of the circle? It's been a long time since I've done, circle cutting, so I had just totally forgot how to do it. I did a little X to mark the center spot, but then I was still having trouble making sure that they were aligned on the top and the bottom so that I didn't cut one side too small and the other side too big. Thought about maybe folding it in half just to get that sizing from that, but then I was like, I don't want to have a big crease mark in the middle. So what I decided to do was just to take a straight edge and try to align it up the best I could with the center and then make 2 marks on each side. That actually worked pretty good, but again, I was just definitely struggling there with how to figure out how to do it. So making the center mark first, going 2 sides, making an X, and then aligning a straight edge on the center to the edges of the circle, and you should be just fine. So I went ahead and cut it with my guillotine cutter, and now I've punched it with my Happy Planner punch. We're just going to go ahead and do a little test run, see how it looks, and I'll drop it into my planner, and you can see what I mean by it being a little bit too tall and a little bit too high on the edge. So I'm just going to hand cut this. I'm not going to try to do anything fancy here. I do happen to have a nice clean line to follow with the scrapbook paper, but if you don't have that, you can always find like a large bowl or something at the size that you want and use that as your initial circle shape. That'll make it a lot easier and you won't have to do this double work like I did of trimming it out afterward. So I was going to lay down the wax paper to figure out this next part, which is the lettering, but I decided to just go for it and put it right onto the page and work it out on the sheet there. I got these letters forever ago in a holiday ephemera pack. I think that's how you say it, ephemera. Just like scrapbook paper style packs with just a bunch of different little things that you can scrapbook with, like cardstock tags and little sayings and things like that. So anyway, this came with that pack and I just had it in my stash for a while. I really love the actual typeface that they use here. It's just got a perfect wintry style with a little bit of serif in it, but I don't know, it's just a really good set of letters, I thought, so I've held on to it for all these years. And I'm going to try to use them here on the front of my bucket list. I was able to spell out the words winter fun. I also had letters enough to spell out holiday and chill. I wasn't sure which ones I was going to use here. I was going to do winter chill and holiday fun, but then I had already decided not to do the bucket list as just a holiday bucket list, so we went with winter fun. And because the color of those stickers is almost the exact same blue as the background, I am using a silver gel pen to outline the letters and pop them off the page just a bit in the right light. I know it's a little bit hard to tell as I'm doing it here on some of them to see the outline, but it's there, and I'll try to show you guys the reflective light as we go through so you can see how it is, you know, in different lighting situations. The one thing I really like about this is that the colors are pretty plain. I mean, it's very blue dominant, but when I put this into my planner for January and February, I'm sure that it'll be a good match for whatever I have in there as far as decor. So everything is dry. Just wanted to double check before I turned it over. And now we're going to do the fun part, which is the bucket list items. So I have included a freebie with this video, so all you need to do is check the description below and there'll be a link directly to it. I've done this for my last bucket list, my fall bucket list, as well as last year's holiday bucket list. I'll have links to all three of those in case you want to mix and match some of the bucket list items from any of those different sources. I will say that the fall bucket list has a little bit of a different font, but the holiday and the winter bucket list that I have here are the same, so it should be easy to do either or with those freebies if you want to print your own. So I went ahead and chose ones that I thought would work for me this season, and I'm doing a more holiday focused set here on the left, and then on the right I'm going to do more of a, you know, as we get into January, February type stuff, just to keep me busy and have some fun there in those winter months after the holidays have passed. So I forgot to pull out these books in the beginning, but I'm using Planty Things. I think it's the Houses and Trees Part 1 sticker book, which actually she just re-released recently. You can order them now, but you won't get them until after January 3rd because she's taking a break from her shop, but you can still order. So if you like any of these books as I'm flipping through to grab these boxes, just do check out her shop. Again, that'll be in the link below. Anyway, so I'm going to use her boxes just because I know that she has a bunch of different blue and blue-greens that I could work in here that will match up with the theme. And pairing those up with the seasonal bucket list items from the freebie. I've cut out the ones that I want from some plain label clear sticker paper that I got off of Amazon. That I will link below as well, so you'll have access to that. The only thing I really don't have a link to is that scrapbook paper book that I grabbed this from. It's pretty old. It's probably 5 or 6 years old now, so I don't have that book available, but I think it originally came from Michael's. So I'm just flipping through her books now and looking for the ones that have the blue boxes. Like I said, I'm using her Houses and Trees Part 1, and then this one is her Christmas, I think it's Houses and Trees as well, for some blue boxes. And I'm just going to stagger them much like I've done the last 2 or 3 bucket lists that I did this year. It worked out really great. I'm still plugging through my fall bucket list. As I do the items, I write down the date which I did them. Sometimes I'll even add a little note if there's something that I want to denote about that bucket list item I completed next to it, so we'll do that. And I decided to add in a little bit more pizzazz with some of these snowflakes here in the back just to tie everything together. And I'll just cut these up and add them in as I go, as they fit. So the items I decided on for my more holiday bucket list items are to decorate the house, bake some cookies, enjoy a seasonal drink, see some Christmas lights, volunteer my time for a cause, have a seasonal family outing, and to celebrate the new year. So I really picked things that I want to do but never tend to muster the energy to do it, or have trouble mustering the energy to do it. Like decorating the house, I really just did not feel like it last year, and I didn't do it at all. So this year I want to make sure that I take the time to, bring a little bit of seasonality to our home. I was really happy that I did it for fall, and I want to do that again for the holiday time period. And then baking cookies, it's a lot of work. So I usually bake a lot of cookies when I do, and I have a friend that I want to meet up with, and we're supposed to do some cookie baking together. So that'll be a fun kind of out of the norm thing. So I have that, enjoy a seasonal drink, just, a little treat for myself to get me in the holiday spirit. See Christmas lights. Again, don't make excuses that it's too cold to go out, even though I love seeing Christmas lights and how people do their house. Sometimes I just get in my little cocoon here in our house and don't end up going anywhere, doing anything. So just ways to really push myself to get out of the house and enjoy life a little bit more. That volunteer my time for a cause, that was a last minute add. I don't have a plan for that, but maybe I'll find a way to add in something for feeding the hungry or whatever comes to mind. We'll see. I'll try to look into that. That's something that's definitely not in my normal comfort zone, so I'll have to do some legwork to make that happen, but hopefully this will help kind of push me to get that done. There's the seasonal family outing, which I do try to get me and my husband out of the house when I can, and then to celebrate the new year instead of falling asleep at 10 p.m. to sing the entire new year transition. So yeah, those are some fun things I hope to do this holiday season. And then on the other side, I have another set that I can do into January and February. An outdoor workout, donating to charity, make a full breakfast. That's something I hardly ever do anymore. Stay in PJs all day. That's something I do all the time now. But purposefully, not really. So that would be fun. Sip some hot cocoa, have a movie marathon, and read a classic novel. Something I kind of have to push myself to do because I like an easy read, so classic novels sometimes require a little bit of effort. And that's basically it, you guys. So I really like how this turned out. I hope you did too. If you did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up down below. Also too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch, and think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Bye!